PH tennis team off to Thailand for SEA Games. Alex Eala to join squad. Manila, Filipina tennis ace Alex Eala will reunite with the Philippine national team on Monday, after flying in from Mallorca in Spain. This, as the Philippine men's and women's squads finalize their preparations for the 33rd Southeast Asian Games in Thailand. The men's team is composed of Ruben Gonzalez, Nino Alcantara, AJ Lim, Iggy Pantino, Jed Olivares and coach Joseph Lizardo. Joining world number 50 Eala in the women's squad are Shara Hope Rivera, Teniel Mides, Steffi Aludo and Alexa Joy Milliam. They will be guided by head coach Denise Dye and assistant coach Bobby Angelo. In their sixth SEA Games appearance, doubles specialists Ruben Gonzalez and Nino Alcantara said they are more than ready to defend the men's doubles gold medal. We're good, we're excited to defend our title. There's going to be a lot of good teams in SEA Games, Alcantara said, citing Thailand and Indonesia as top threats. Alcantara and Gonzalez had won the Philippines' lone tennis gold in the 2023 SEA Games in Cambodia. AJ Lim shared the same energy as he gears up for another campaign. I'm just really excited to be with the guys, the team, hoping that we can bring home a lot of medals. Hopefully all of us get a medal, he said. Making his SEA Games debut, collegiate standout and Gentry Open champion Iggy Pantino said he hopes to rely on his previous experience as he transitions to the national stage. Use my experience and just play my game, he said. For the women's team, first-timers Teniel Mides and Alexa Milliam expressed their excitement ahead of their maiden SEA Games appearance. Rivera, now on her fourth SEA Games, offered simple but grounding advice. Just enjoy. Don't get pressured. Because it's their first time, it's exciting for sure. Laban Dye, who will be coaching in the SEA Games for the first time, is confident that the women's team is in fine form after their performance in the Billie Jean King Cup in June. I think they're ready to go. Everybody's fit and working very hard, Dye said, citing Indonesia, Thailand and Malaysia as their toughest competitions. There was a kind of electric restlessness inside Ninoy Aquino International Airport the morning the Philippine tennis delegation departed for Thailand. Not the frantic kind that usually accompanies early flights or misread boarding passes, but a calm, almost ceremonial excitement, like the quiet before a headline-worthy moment. For the 2025 Southeast Asian Games, the Philippine team wasn't just traveling, they were carrying with them the collective hopes of a nation eager for another breakthrough. And at the heart of that anticipation was a familiar name that had grown into something bigger than the sport itself: Alex Eala. Though she was set to join the squad a few days later, flying from Europe after a training block, the very mention of her name was enough to redraw the narrative of the SEA Games campaign. She had become the gravitational center of Philippine tennis, pulling crowds, headlines and expectations with her as effortlessly as she fired forehand winners down the line. But even without her physically present, the team's energy buzzed with confidence. A team ready to prove something. National coaches Martin Diego and Zay Kalina had been emphasizing a theme throughout the training camp: unity. ASEA Games podium was no longer dependent on individual brilliance alone. Doubles chemistry, mixed team cohesion, and mental endurance mattered just as much. And for the first time in years, the Philippines had a balanced roster: hungry newcomers, seasoned veterans, and a superstar whose presence elevated the entire squad. Leading the early contingent were Francis Alcantara, the doubles stalwart known for turning tricky net exchanges into highlight reels; Marion Cappadocia, the veteran whose consistency remained unmatched; and the young guns, tennis hopefuls whose nerves battled the exhilaration of their first major regional assignment. As they checked in their racket bags, some decorated with flag stickers, some wrapped in layers of protective tape, it was clear how much this moment meant. SEA Games campaign was more than competition, it was identity. Each trip to the regional meet was a reminder that Filipino tennis, despite limited resources and modest facilities back home, had never lacked passion. The Alex Eala effect. Meanwhile, thousands of kilometers away, Alex Eala wrapped up her high-intensity training block in Spain. In the Rafael Nadal Academy, her sporting home since adolescence, she fine-tuned her footwork, sharpened her returns, and practiced on both hard and clay to prepare for any court Thailand might offer. The Southeast Asian Games, though not a tour-ranking event, was a mission she treated with the seriousness of a professional Grand Slam run. Because for Alex, this wasn't just about medals. It was about representation. She had already won the hearts of the Filipino sports community long before her major junior Grand Slam titles, long before her rise in WTA rankings, long before the sponsorship deals and magazine covers. What set her apart was her commitment to carrying the Philippine flag, not as a branding element, but as a personal vow. And as she read the messages from her teammates, some teasing her about being the latecomer, others promising they'd save her a seat at the hotel buffet, she felt the quiet pressure she always embraced. Her presence turned potential into expectation. Her matches would draw crowds, spark hashtags, and fill watch parties across Manila and beyond. She knew that each time she stepped on court in a PH jersey, the country believed a little more in its sporting future. A nation waiting for a breakthrough. The Philippines' tennis history at the SEA Games had moments of sparkle, golden spells from legends like Cecil Mamiet and Treat Huey, thrilling doubles runs, emotional victories and unexpected matchups. But the past decade had been a mix of narrow misses and bronze-colored finishes. Now, with Alex leading the charge and a stronger-than-usual supporting cast, 2025 felt different. It felt like the year everything aligned, the talent, the timing, the hunger. Samahang Tennis Inc. Pilipinas officials had modest but hopeful goals. Multiple medals, a finals berth in doubles, a strong showing in team categories. But privately, fans were dreaming bigger, dreaming of gold, of podium sweeps, of a statement year that could spark more funding, more grassroots development, more belief that tennis could become a staple of Philippine sporting excellence. The journey begins. As the plane carrying the first half of the squad taxied down the runway, Coach Diego watched from the window, arms crossed, eyes forward. "This is it," he said softly, almost to himself. "We've worked years for a lineup like this." Across the aisle, Francis Alcantara was reviewing match footage, whispering short reminders. Reaction time, positioning, confidence. Cappadocia was scribbling notes in a small notebook, her SEA Games ritual before every tournament. The younger players were glued to their headphones, alternating between nervous laughter and deep breaths. Back in Europe, Alex Eala zipped up her bag, one that had traveled with her through tour events on 3 continents. The Philippine flag patch on the side had faded from sun and sweat but remained unmistakable. Her flight to Thailand was booked. Her preparation was complete. Her resolve was firm. "I'm coming," she whispered with a hint of a smile. A story waiting to be written. The SEA Games is rarely predictable. Matches.